You're listening to Oilersnation Radio, a member of the Nation network of podcasts and delivered by DoorDash. 1 hour of straight hockey talk with Dan, Rick, Tyler, and Bag Milk starts now.
And Coom.
That's right.
With 4 O's.
Is it 4 or 3?
It's 3.
Yeah.
I have to push harder to make sure that everyone does 3, because now if you do 2 and it's Coom, then it's like Coomer. You know Coomer, right?
No.
So Coomer is a thing. So no, let me back this up. So my nickname Coom started in 2008, and roughly like 7-8 years after that, the internet decided that a Coomer is someone who a lot.
Oh my God, man.
So that's 2 O's. So you have to make sure you put the third one in for my name. Otherwise, you're implying that I am a frequent.
Tyler was all in on this story until you said frequent. And now he's like, I think I have to trim this entire episode.
You got to be careful.
Are we keeping that in?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. It's factual, Tyler.
Yeah, it's just
we're learning.
It's information. I'm teaching you guys something.
The look on Tyler's face says it won't be in there.
No, it will.
Also, why have
actually? How about this? Instead of cutting it, just bleep it, and then people won't know exactly what Coombsy said.
And we'll do little callbacks to it the entire episode.
Yeah. I think it'll be nice.
Or other idea, you just cut that 1 minute segment and we'll post it on Blue Jays Nation as an episode of Blue Jays Nation Radio, and that's the whole thing.
It'll kind of be like on Real Life when we were talking about Robert Kraft and his love of,
massages.
Yeah.
All right. Edit is on the thing.
Oilers Nation Radio episode 171. Welcome, Bag Milk, Tyler, Rick, Dan, and Coombsy.
Fucking Cam.
And we learned a little bit about Coombsy today. Well, you might have. It might have been bleeped out. I don't know how Tyler's going to do this in post, but we will listen to that later. As always, we do this every week, and we start off with the Oodle Noodle Delicious Debate. Now 17 locations. Also got a promo code on DoorDash. If you use Oodle 2021, that'll get you $7 off an order of $30 or more. Tyler Yaremchuk, what is the delicious debate this week?
The Oodle Noodle Delicious Debate of the week is
Just delicious.
should the NHL suspend the season?
Give us some context. What's going on? If somebody's living under a rock, what's been happening?
Wait, I want to say it again. The Oodle Noodle Delicious Debate, should the NHL suspend the season?
There you go.
Delicious.
There's a lot of COVID cases going on in the league, Bagged Milk, and a handful of teams, Calgary, Florida, and who's the third one? Minnesota have all had their games postponed through at least the 27th of December. So, I mean, a lot of people are saying things aren't getting better. Should the NHL just say 2-week break? That's the sound of hitting the brakes.
Also, if you look at dailyfaceoff.com, Zach and Cam have been working on the live blog to just keep everybody updated on what's going on with COVID. And it just seems like more and more names are getting added to the list daily. Here at Edmonton, we're now at 4. I personally think that'll climb up a little bit. Who wants to start first? What are we talking about? The Olympics?
For the record, it's not Minnesota, it's Colorado.
Same thing, honestly. Look, let's be real here.
But it affects the Minnesota
Colorado.
Wild. That's why the issue is there.
Oh, that's right. Game got suspended.
Does anyone think they should?
I the reason I don't think that they should is the 3 to 5. Well, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why they shouldn't, to be honest. But in terms of just the hockey standpoint, the 3 to 5 week quarantine thing in case there's a positive test, that can't happen.
That's Olympics.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about
should we suspend the NHL
season
right now? Take a 2-week COVID
well, that's
break.
my take on the Olympics.
So
Going into the NHL, I mean, if they're not going to go to the Olympics, why not pause for 2 weeks? Just kind of shuffle them in there if you can.
Yeah, there's like other things going on in arenas and stuff, so it's not that simple. But
you could probably crowbar a couple.
I would not want to be the schedule maker, that's for sure.
Because then you can't have any games in Edmonton because there's 22 straight Garth Brooks concerts here in February, so we can't move the games to the Olympic break.
He's really upset he only has one banner, so he needs another.
But so to answer the question, I say no, because to me, I think the answer would be to shut it down for 2 weeks, and that's not going to stop anything from happening. You have to really, we've seen in the past with schools and with other places, if you want to stop the virus, you have to shut down for 4 weeks. which is just, to me, it's untenable as a league. Yeah. So I think that this rolling blackout that we're going to see with more and more teams leading into the February break, and as Bag Milk kind of alluded to, this is where the Olympic conversation now comes into it, because what is it, January the 10th that they have to opt out? Players have to opt out.
Something like
that's without financial, without a financial fee. They can opt out up until like the day they're supposed to stand on and step on the airplane.
The financial fee, from what I've heard, is actually pretty small, relatively speaking. It's like a couple $1 million.
So like a suspension.
Yeah.
From
yeah, I agree with Dan. Like, it's just, you can't shut down for 4 weeks. And yeah, if you could shut down for 2 weeks and be like, yeah, at the end of 2 weeks, everyone's healthy and we're good to go, then yeah, you would do it, but that's
just
not
won't happen that way.
That's like not how this shit's going to work.
The problem's still going to be here in January. I mean, what this whole situation reminds me of that Simpsons meme where it's like, we've tried nothing and nothing's worked. Like they haven't changed a single thing about the way they operated. Like, they can bring back taxi squads, they can bring back X, Y, and Z. They can, last year the Canucks missed like a fucking month. And the Oilers, Flames, everyone else didn't pause because of it. Just go on a case-by-case basis. If teams have 300 guys in the COVID protocol, then they shut down for 2 weeks. And then that's how it works. Try some different things and see how you can get around it. The solution isn't just hiding for a month and hoping that COVID disappears after Christmas. COVID's still going to be a thing after Christmas. It's not,
as far as I heard,
it's not going
away.
As
soon as the New Year's ball drops, COVID is over.
Yeah, the big Christmas gift for the world this year is there's going to be a cure. And it's just going to stop.
I guess I'm just shocked that the league hasn't, or at least we haven't heard about the league talking about, salary cap implications where they could start to help these teams figure that out.
But by not reacting quicker in that regard, and not like right from the jump saying, you know what, if you have COVID shit, you can call up people emergency basis. It doesn't affect your cap. And now they've gotten to a point where if they start doing that, the teams who have been fucked for the last month are going to be like, what the hell? No, we found a way to do it. Everyone else should.
But I think that's a fair point. But I also think that you have to recognize that the league maybe has fumbled it up until this point, and we have to change it, right? Like Coom said, you can't keep doing nothing and expect the results to change.
Stop testing guys who have no symptoms and are double vaxxed.
It's what the NFLs might start doing.
The NFL is supposed to start that next week. It makes no sense to me why we're testing these people who are double vaxxed and have no symptoms.
Probably because the NHL, like with things like this, is super insurance-y and lawyery. That's what I guess.
Well, and Bag Milk, you said it earlier off air. These players go home at the end of the day, and
I know, like in one of our sites, actually I'll just say Quads, at Canucks Army, I was talking to some people. They're just worried about bringing it home.
Yeah. And those players should have, and as far as I understand, have had every right to say, hey, listen, I don't feel comfortable playing, whether it been the bubble last year or even at the start of this season. I don't think any manager, anybody get bummed out if someone said, hey, I've got a small baby at home, I'm going to stay at home.
I'm going to take a month off.
Even like Tyler Bertuzzi doesn't travel to Canada.
Yeah.
So if you're Bo Horvat, you can just be like, hey, look, my entire family is going to be in the mix and I have a baby for Christmas. I'm going to fuck off for 2 weeks.
And I don't think anyone would be like, what the hell, you loser?
I don't think anybody
You'll definitely get those, but you won't get rational people saying that.
Well, everyone normal will be okay about it.
That's the thing. Tuukka Rask heard it. Tuukka Rask has felt the criticism of leaving the bubble. Yeah. You hope that we've grown up a little bit more.
It's not we, it's just some group of people.
I know
they have not grown up at all. They'll always be like that from 2021 till 4021.
But the people who are angriest about Tuukka Rask were the ones who were pissed it off that he left the bubble and then went golfing immediately. That's why, so if Bo Horvat wants to, keep his kids safe, then maybe don't hit the links when you leave, right? And no one's going to get angry. You'll be fine.
Yeah, he's at Professor Wem's Adventure Golf. Just really upset about it.
I could go for some mini golf right now.
I could too. It's fucking cold outside.
Do you want to head out and do that right now?
Yeah. We should just call it now.
Good episode.
Can't we just put mics on our collars or something like that? Hook it up to our
Tyler hates lav mics. We can't do that.
I fucking hate lav mics.
Because you hate everything.
Tyler, what's your call? Like, what should the NHL do?
Keep rolling. If teams are healthy, they play. If they're not healthy, you postpone their games. You're going to end up with a 2-week gap at the end of the season anyways now, where you got to schedule in shit. It's going to be hard enough to do. Don't just mass wipe out games. Just keep playing them.
You're most likely going to end up with 3 to 4 weeks in February where they're not playing. Like the chances they go to the Olympics are going to be very slim. Anyway.
Yeah. So I think that's where I was talking about, like, not necessarily shutting it down, but like if the players aren't going to go to the Olympics, which it doesn't seem like they're going to, you just a little crowbar some in there.
I think you can. I think the players are still going to want a bit of a break at that point. They're not going to be like, no Olympics, we'll play right through. So I think you probably tell the players probably relatively soon here that, hey, no Olympics. That's cool. We're going to end your break 8 days early, and every team's playing 3 games in that span.
What if they do some makeshift Olympics like in the States, like in Vegas?
They already
I think
said
it's
they
too
won't.
late.
It's way too late to do that.
So
they already
You
said
could,
they
what
won't.
if you just did like a 3-game series between North America versus the world?
I actually like the
A
idea of
3-game series.
I love the idea of doing like a full-on Olympics and splitting it between like Seattle and Vancouver or whatever.
You just have 4 teams. Just do
But that doesn't mean anything.
Canada,
I think if you're gonna do it,
USA,
you need to have the IHF.
But like also like
miscellaneous Europe guys who have been traded by Peter Chiarelli. Those are your 4 teams in the pretend Olympics.
it's like Greg Campbell still out there.
but it's like to that point though, it doesn't mean anything. What does the World Cup mean really?
Yeah,
Nothing.
It doesn't mean anything.
Connor's not going to want to go play that.
Like if Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are going to go risk injury and play hockey,
It
not in
better
an
be
Oilers
for
jersey,
an Olympic gold medal. If they're doing it for
Yeah.
fucking the large fries at McDonald's, I'd be pissed.
Yep. I agree with Rick.
that's a great joke.
And
about
yesterday,
That was good.
Pierre LeBrun said it takes anywhere from 12 to 18 months to put on a World Cup style tournament.
No.
That's why, I mean, that's just what he said.
Pierre's
That-
not
and
even
that's-
trying. Come on.
That's the thing with that, where the time schedule part didn't really click with me, because they put together the bubble hockey here seemingly pretty quickly, with Edmonton and Toronto.
And
But
I mean,
everything was canceled. Everything was canceled in the building by then.
But you
but
don't have,
also
you don't have to
everything
make,
was also canceled outside of the building.
you don't
too.
have to make it sexy either. Like you
No.
don't need to do the big screens and all that. You could
I would
literally
like it
just
to be
say,
sexy.
we're going to Seattle.
Like
we are
Montreal
going to
last night.
Yeah, that was weird to see that again. Hey,
Yeah.
the empty rink in Montreal.
Yeah.
With nothing like nothing set up around it to make it feel like there's fans in it. It was just literally they might as well be having a practice.
Yeah. Cause like yesterday, if you weren't aware, I mean, there's some wild fan news yesterday.
How did that happen within an hour of puck drop?
You hear about the person who I think he's from around here. Dan, were you the one tweeting it? No. I was someone who I think is from around Edmonton who flew out to Montreal for their birthday to go finally see a Habs
Well,
game.
to be fair, come on, that's your birthday gift to yourself to watch this rendition of the Montreal Canadiens. that's a birthday punishment, not a birthday gift. Like he was gifted something by the Habs. Now he can just go do a normal thing in Montreal instead, which is better than watching the Habs.
It's not
Yeah.
bad.
You go smoke unfiltered cigarettes.
Yeah, I can just go say tabernacle people.
Eat bread.
A lot of
Say that
bread.
on the pod.
What, tabernacle?
Yeah.
Yeah, tabernacle.
We just said the F word 8 times before that. So
Where Tyler's
Fair enough.
drawing
It
the
is
Why
a
is it all
slight against the
blurry?
church, I guess.
Tyler draws the line at
It's very
tabernacle.
blurry.
That's what we can't say.
as soon as Coom said tabernacle, Tyler turned off the focus on our camera.
Yeah, like that was gonna.
Well, you can just bleep it out and people can guess what weird word I'm
I
saying.
just said it too.
I'm not doing that much bleeping in this episode.
I would like to hear that much bleeping.
That'd be kind of funny. Honestly.
is
You should
funny.
do it.
Bleeping's
It's pretty-
hilarious.
it's really
I'm sorry, I
funny.
didn't know about the tabernacle thing. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, it's a slight against the Catholic Church.
Is it
actually?
It's the
Is
worst
that what
thing
it
you
is?
can
I learned
say
something new. I'm not
in
gonna
Roman
use it.
Catholicism. It's what is it, like tabernacle or something? Something
Yeah.
Virgin Mary or something?
Basically, all French swears are against the Catholic Church, more or less.
Why? What happened?
Let's break down the history of the swearing.
I'm looking forward to seeing how this gets edited together after it's done, because we're falling off the rails and Tyler's face says he doesn't know what's going on.
What
Yep.
rails? So are we going to the Olympics or not?
No. And that's heartbreaking because we were so excited. All that off-season content of who do you play with McDavid and McKinnon? Who's going to be in net?
How
This is
good
awesome.
is Leon going to be with all of his countrymen behind him?
With Munzenberger.
The only thing they want, I think, is to be able to get out of China without their 3 to 5 week.
if they
you can
what if you
figure
just got a
that-
private flight?
That's what I'm saying.
Right?
But
So if
China's
that-
not allowing that
right now,
right now.
but China's also going to not be very happy if the NHLers don't show up and they have 7 people to go watch a game.
Surely they'll make a condition, right? Like the China wants the NHL
That's a
players to
con-
be there. It's the
that's a-
biggest. It's the biggest draw of the tournament.
That's a country who's going to bend over backwards for the dollar.
Yeah, and I hope that is the case. And if you're China as well, logistically, do you really want these people, these NHLers who come over and test positive in your isolation facilities for 3 to 5 weeks, or would you rather just have them get on a plane, get out, and not be your problem?
Could you imagine there's a group stage game between Canada and Team China? Canada scores 40 goals. The guy is one guy on Team Canada scores 8 goals. He winds up with a random positive test. They just keep him there. For
That's the only thing I was
keep him
worried
there
about,
for a
man. We were
year.
supposed to play them. All of a sudden,
He's a political prisoner.
McKinnon's positive. Connor's positive.
entire
Crosby's positive. They're all in different little 8x8s all over fucking Beijing or wherever they are.
Also, how with that in mind, then because basically if you test positive, you're gone for the whole tournament. How big is your Olympic taxi squad going to be? Do you get to bring a second team?
The Spengler Cup just
We've always wondered what
hotel.
Canada's B team would look like. We'll find out because that's the taxi squad.
Game 2, taxi squad.
It's a bummer too, because the more you watch the Daily Face-Off show and hear Frank Saravalli talking about it, it doesn't seem like it's happening.
No.
And that's a real bummer. I wanted to see, like, call it tacky or whatever, but I want to see Connor and Sid play together.
Yep.
This, like, how old is Sid right now?
35.
Yeah,
he was born in 87.
This is probably his last one. Unless you get like the next one, he's like Mario.
Unless he's like got the Joe Thornton vibes going on.
Because Lemieux played in 2002, and he must have been 40.
Yeah, Lemieux would have been up there.
He would have been 40, and they had a lot of old guys in that time. I bet you
they had a lot of old, like
maybe
big names at that still. Then
maybe Sidney Crosby coaches the 2026 Olympic team.
I
Player
can see
coach.
him as like a 40-year-old, just like chilling on the fourth line.
and I do too, but it won't be
the same.
Sid from this year.
You feel for a guy like Stamkos, right? You go back, and in 2010 he was the last cut when he was a youngster for that Olympic team. 2014,
He was injured, wasn't he?
he breaks his leg a month before the tournament when he's scoring 60 goals a year.
Yep.
And now this year, like his last chance to make the team, he gets off to an unreal start. He's having a great year in Tampa, and now he doesn't get to go. Sucks.
Devastating.
COVID fucking blows, man. It's ruining everything.
Yeah, fuck this.
And again, it'd be a lot of guys who are like testing positive or asymptomatic and double vax. Like it just doesn't make sense to me anymore.
It's going to be interesting to see how the NHL adjusts going into the end of the season. Like we're now December 17th. COVID is kind of ripping through the league here at Edmonton. 4 players now on the COVID protocol list, or I guess 4 people from the franchise on the COVID list. We got Ryan McLeod, Devin Shore, Nuge, and Dave Tippett.
Does that mean they're positive? Like, what does that mean?
Not necessarily, and they can't. We won't ever know officially unless they tell us. Because it could be protecting their privacy. It could just be precautionary. They could have had a positive test. They have to then have a second test done. And if that second test comes back negative, then they get a third one. And then I think they can come off the protocol. So basically, if they're on it for a long time.
And you can be on the protocol by like meeting the standards by like a millimeter.
You have to get off the protocol according to the NHL document that they released. You have to produce 2 negative tests within a 24-hour period.
But even
24 hours apart, right?
Even when you test positive, there's like different variations of positive. If you even just like a millimeter over that into that positivity line, then you're out.
Yep.
It makes no sense.
Yep. Like Dave Tippett, Jim Playfair, after the first game he was out, confirmed that he tested positive. So,
Could you imagine if they fired Dave Tippett while he was in COVID protocol?
To bring in Paul Maurice.
That's a weird one. Paul Maurice, you don't often see a coach step down in the middle of the season. I know the Jets have struggled a little bit lately, but it's not like they're horrible. I think they're not horrible.
What's the weather like in Winnipeg right now?
Oh, I get that. Like if it's cold as fuck here in Edmonton.
Maurice woke up and was like, "Fuck this."
9 years is too much.
It's only minus 12 there today. That's not that bad.
That's casual.
It can't just be he's just tired of Winnipeg's winter.
He's really
tired of the bus rides.
Yeah, bus rides. He's tired. He can't get a cab with more than 3 friends. He's tired about the very high curbs in Winnipeg.
The terrible pizza at that one 7-Eleven you need to get buzzed in.
He often can't eat at Mitzi's as much as he wants to.
Understandable. That would piss me off too.
Yep.
Great chicken fingers.
Amazing chicken fingies. Shout out to Chris the intern.
The other day on the DFO rundown, we had Brad Tree living on and his dad, Jim, obviously founder of Boston Pizza. And Frank, after Brad leaves, but we're still on the air, we're recording, he goes, "All your pizza up in Canada sucks." I was like, what the fuck? Whoa. Like, how can you make a blanket statement like that?
How much pizza's he had up here?
Has he ever had Buster's Pizza? I don't think he has.
Probably not.
Unbelievable.
I know.
There's tons of good pizza around.
Frank needs to sort his life out.
And like that does, yeah.
What is he like? Philly pizza? What kind of pizza is Philly pizza?
It's just a cheesesteak, but it's flat.
Well, Frank's Italian, so he knows his pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
he's more of a Delicio man. I would love to know. I'm good. Send Frank a text. Ask him what kind of frozen pizza he likes.
Yeah.
Does he get frozen pizza?
He's going to be disgusted.
Can he send some to us so just we know what exactly?
I want to know. I want to know what's going on in the Saravalli household. We got Tyler is texting Frank Saravalli.
Are we road tripping right now?
What kind of pizza he has?
Tell him to come up here with his best pizza.
Whoa!
Come up here with your best pizza.
Why don't we go down there?
Yes.
Yeah, we could do that.
I love bugging him. I tell him, I go, "Frank, I'm coming to Philly for Christmas." And he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah," because he told me when he was here with them. He's like, "You can come to Philly whenever you want." And I was like, "I'm coming for Christmas." Also,
like a family dinner?
He's at Disney World with his kids right now, so I kind of feel bad texting him about this. But anyways.
Why? Happiest place on earth?
Yeah.
You should be feeling good about pizza texts randomly.
You can't just accuse Canadian pizza in general of being shit.
There's no such thing as Canadian pizza, though.
That too. I was like, man, like
you don't have Canadian.
How many different kinds of pizza could you get in the city of Edmonton right now?
It's got to be like the different sauces that they use from the suppliers and everything.
He just comes up here and he doesn't go to the right places.
Yeah,
well, that's
the thing.
True.
Like
he doesn't come to Buster's Pizza.
Yeah, Buster's Pizza.
Well, we know there's one not down there because Shroom Sauce otherwise could have got his GC last week.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
We know that there is no, So next time Frank's up here, Buster's Pizza, that's on the stop. That's the first stop.
You know who does a really good pizza is Costco, the cafeteria.
Everything in the Costco cafeteria is good.
What's bad in the Costco cafeteria?
They must have been out of hot dogs.
What?
They must have been out of hot dogs. Why are you getting a piece of pizza? You go there for the hot dog.
You get a pizza and a hot dog.
Oh, I like your style.
Yeah.
That's only $5.
Also,
Come on.
Get a poutine thrown in there. That is a big meal.
It's the best deal in town.
$1.50 hot dog combo is legit.
Frank says pretty much, I said, are you a frozen pizza guy or fresh baked only? He said pretty much fresh only. I occasionally go frozen, not often. Why?
Did you tell him we're on the podcast?
Ask him what ride he's on right now.
It's not bad.
That was a good one. I picked the right one. Shout out to Frank.
What else do you have on there? What other, do you want to go through all of them?
No, God damn it. That's the intro for real life. I knew this podcast would be just nonsense. With Cam.
Why?
Camera stopped.
You guys are frozen. Tyler's struggling here, so we're going to move on and make Tyler happy. So far, we've covered the NHL will not pause, probably. That's most likely.
Yeah. Delicious debate.
And Olympics.
There's your delicious debate for Oodle Noodle.
Was it delicious debate the pizza?
We're at 20. We're at the 21-minute mark.
And Kooming.
Yeah,
we talked about Kooming. You got to bleep that out.
Yep.
And we talked about Tabernac.
And Tabernac.
12:40 mark. I got to bleep that out too.
The delicious debate is Tabernac acceptable to say if you're eating terrible pizza from Canada?
I think so.
It's 20. We're 21 minutes and we have not talked Oilers yet. We need to talk Oilers.
What are the Oilers?
I said Connor.
Winners.
Well, technically we did because I said there's 4 people in the franchise on the COVID protocol list.
It's true.
My boy Nugent Hopkins this morning. Rough one.
That's sad.
It is sad.
Thought he had a good game last night.
He did.
Are his horses okay though?
Oh, you know they are.
His donkeys?
His donkeys are also fine. They're
His
minding the
donkeys?
horses.
What about Dan's horses in Vegas?
My horse is the ponies.
Beepapalua.
Yes.
Love that. Okay, looking at the Oilers to make Tyler happy.
Thank you.
Big win last night. Needed it. Columbus.
That was
Endless slump busters for the Oilers over the last couple of years.
That's a good point. That to me was like the blueprint for a perfect game for the Oilers. That's how they could win a lot, right? The power play comes through for them a couple of times. That's great.
Yep.
Depth scoring was there because the Stars weren't there at 5-on-5. That's perfect. Goaltending was good, not great. Defense, bend, didn't break. Bang.
I thought Skinner was excellent.
I thought Skinner was
great.
better than. Yeah.
I really like Skinner.
You were having a couple of pops last night, weren't you?
I did, but Skinner was
He's sturdy.
that's what I'm saying. Like
there's no wasteful movement. The puck wasn't bobbling any pucks like he did in Detroit his very first game of the year. He looked really solid last night, I thought.
he was solid. He wasn't like great though. He didn't like steal them.
Didn't have to.
Yeah,
be.
that's what I mean. That's why it was like the blueprint for a good game.
I didn't watch the first part of the game yesterday. I watched it this morning, and I really feel like those first 5 minutes, if Koskinen's in the net, we're probably down 1-0. Yep.
Skinner made a big save on the penalty kill.
There was 2 or 3, I don't remember now, odd man rushes in the first couple of minutes against.
Yeah.
And Stuart Skinner made some huge saves. If those go in, then maybe we're talking about 7 games. Thankfully, we're not. I thought he was excellent. I thought he was really, really good.
So you're wrong, Tyler. Sorry about it.
Yeah, Tyler, that's what you said there is inaccurate.
Yeah.
Why do you hate him?
I didn't realize you were so anti-Stuart Skinner.
Why don't you say it to his face?
Fuck off.
This is like the horseshoe that right before the game, everyone's like firing away at him.
But how was the crowd?
Looking at one guy getting shit on, he was the next one gets shit, bang, 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 back and forth.
How was the crowd last night, Tyler?
It was solid.
Yeah.
It was empty at first because I think it took people a long time to get there because the roads were bad.
Yes.
But yeah, I thought the crowd was good and Skinner played great.
Here's an observation about the Blue Jackets I have is they've been in the league for like 23 years now.
Mm-hmm.
They still feel like an expansion team now.
Yeah, they work hard, right?
I think their problem is the logo in that jersey.
But they don't have any interesting guys either.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Laine's not playing right now.
Bjorkstrand's sick.
Max Domi.
Yeah, but that's if that's your best guy, then you're an expansion team.
Bjorkstrand's good for 25-30 a year.
Rick Nash is still the first name I think of.
Werenski's sick.
Yeah.
Listen, this is coming from a guy who owns 6 Columbus Blue Jackets jerseys.
All it would
Do
take,
you really?
All it would,
6?
Dude, all it would take is for Raquel to go to Columbus, and he'd probably move to Columbus. Like, forget about the Oilers. That would be his big thing now.
That's tempting.
Which Columbus Blue Jackets jerseys do you have?
I got 2 blank, a Boone Jenner, a Ryan Johansson, a signed Rick Nash one, and an unsigned Rick Nash one.
That's weird, man.
That is a lot of Columbus jerseys.
Jackets.
Are they all different styles too?
They're not all different
They don't
styles.
have that many jerseys, do they?
No, so the Rick Nash
Do you
one
have
is
the
like
Canon one?
yeah, I got
Fuck yeah.
I have 2 Canon ones.
Oh, big man.
Yeah, one with Nash, one without.
Sure.
An expansion era one, and then 2 of the Blues.
Just NHL. What is your total at right now? 20?
Probably a little bit higher than that.
Jesus.
If you count international hockey, it definitely is.
What's the coolest one you have?
The coolest jersey I have. For some reason, I have a Team Russia jersey from the Olympics.
Which year?
2014.
Are you a double agent?
Maybe.
Well, your Remchuk sounds like a little bit of a.
It's from the USSR, for sure.
That's a Soviet name somewhere.
So when I worked at Jersey City, I was going through the back one day. We're doing like inventory. We got to clean shit out. And there was a game style. So like the fight strap and of the Oilers pajama era one, the navy blue with that. And I found it. It was just sitting like crumpled up in the corner. So I pulled it out and I rang it into the cash register to see how much it was. And it was on sale for $10 because it had been sitting in the back room. It's like the last one the company had. So I used my employee discount on it. It cost me $6.
I love how you put the employee discount on top of a jersey that was already $10. You went through the work to get the extra $4 off.
Yeah, someone else had to ring me through the till.
3 years before that, he hid the jersey in that back room somewhere. He's like,
that's a good move, though. Honestly, that's a
heist.
That's a veteran's move.
Anyways, I love my hockey jerseys. Love the Blue Jackets. They're not that good. They work hard though, and the Oilers kind of just outskill.
They have an expansion team vibe, and they always will. They're never going to be a real team. It feels like the Vegas Golden Knights have been around longer than the Blue Jackets.
The Vegas Golden Knights have more banners in their arena than the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, the Golden Knights have
And
most
the Wild,
certainly.
I think.
The Golden Knights have probably played more playoff games than the Blue Jackets have.
Easily.
Yeah,
easily.
Yeah,
That's a weird thing to think about.
Yeah.
That's sad.
They might have played more than the Wild too, though. Like the Wild are in that same vibe. I know they have had a little bit of success throughout the years.
Yeah, they had some success in the early 2000s.
they went to the conference finals in like their 3rd year in the league,
rolling with the goalies.
Yeah, with Fernandez and Rolison.
Yep.
And they beat the Avs in Patrick Waugh's last ever game.
This is a very real life-y episode of ONR.
Just like the Edmonton Oilers beat Steve Yzerman in his last game.
That's true.
Back to the Oilers. There we go.
There you go.
Perlini.
Yes.
He was the insurance the Oilers needed, as it turns out. Just like what you can get from our friends at Cornerstone Insurance. See that, Tyler?
Yeah.
Nice. For 90 years and 4 generations, Cornerstone Insurance has been a family and employee-owned business here in Edmonton with all the products you need: auto, residential, commercial, life insurance, whatever you want. Left-hand side of the screen, Citizens of the Nation, click a little button, get a discount. Got it? Good. Lamborghini Perlini. Skirt. Recalled with some of the COVID issues. When he got sent down in 12 games played, he only had 6 shots on net. Last night, he had 7.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Last night, he had 7 shot attempts and a goal and an assist. Best game, undoubtedly, for Lamborghini Perlini. He said that in the intermission, he was talking to the panel. He said he really appreciated getting sent down to Bakersfield because it gave him some time to play because he was in and out of the lineup. Got a couple of goals, feeling good. Who else did you guys like last night? Because the Oilers, for 2 games in a row now, have gotten depth goals from their bottom 6. Has not happened. Dan, what do you think?
I was going to say that line together was really good. Obviously, when you get the 2 goals, it's hard not to talk about you. But the fact that they were putting the puck in front of the net and then they were there for those rebound shots, because that was 3 or 4 of the goals went in off of the second chance opportunity off Merzlikins.
Merzlikins was kicking out rebounds like juicy ones.
He had a trampoline for pads last night.
He really did.
So that's the kind of effort you want to see from that third line.
Like that Perlini goal, now that I'm thinking about it, since you mentioned the rebounds, Zach Kassian shot from a weird angle. I like that he shot, but that rebound kicked out 20 feet.
Yeah.
If you're going to talk that play, that pass by Bouchard that set Kassian
after almost falling.
He almost fell. Then he came in 1-on-3, stopped, went backwards a bit, brought 2 players to him, fed it through somehow to Kassian, and then that big rebound, and then Perlini's put up.
I wrote about Bouchard in the wrap up last night. His passing is just getting better and better, and it makes me wonder when
he's still a rookie, man.
The coaching staff is going to see what he's doing there and leapfrog him over Barry in something like the power play.
But that's the only place he's not playing ahead of him. And he's already top pairing. But he's killing penalties.
But I think if he's going to be your best right-handed defenseman, he should play in all situations.
Sure, but you can't ask Barry to kill penalties. You're playing with a.
You're only at 5-on-5, bro.
What's that?
He's only at 5-on-5.
Who?
Barry. Just and on the second unit power play.
Well, no, that's what I mean though. If you got to play him on the power play, because otherwise you're going to play Bouchard too much at that point. I think He's still only in his first real year. He's still a rookie to me. I know he's not technically a rookie, but
I don't like that Nurse still gets time over him though.
Next year he can get some extra time. But
like on the power play, you mean?
Yeah, like that'd be an easy way to loosen up Nurse's minutes too, is to give him less time on the power play. I just wish we got a sniff of Bouchard once in a while.
I completely agree. I'd like to see him out there. I just kind of understand why they're not doing it quite yet.
Because we're like, 20 games into Tyson Barrie's 3-year contract, and pulling him off the power play is a terrible look because that's the one thing he's paid to do.
I think Tyson Barrie is gone by this time next year. I think Tyson Barrie is gone.
Do you really?
Summer. Yes.
What do you think? Like, in what kind of move? Just for another bad cap hit or what?
No, I don't necessarily think he's a bad cap hit.
Like a mediocre cap hit.
If he
has value to a different team.
Yeah, exactly. If you have that necessity on your team, then you're not really overpaying him, especially what he can do on the power.
So you just get like a different winger back.
Yeah. So what I would do is try and find a way to move Cassian to fill that third right-handed spot defenseman, and then use your Barrie and your pick to go out and find a top 6 forward.
I'm very interested to see what Ken Holland does with Zach Cassian, because
he's been trying to trade him for a year and a half.
That's what I mean.
As far as the rumors are.
That's what I mean, right? Like he's been trying, and everybody's like, nah, I don't think so. And then people will be like, well, there's no fans in the stands, so how can you get motivated? Well, now there's fans in the stands. Tyler was there. He looks tired today. He had a couple of cocktails last night.
My eye keeps twitching.
You've been having this issue for a couple of days now.
I know.
WebMD this thing.
Just sleep more,
Yeah,
Tyler.
that's the best place to do things is WebMD.
It's definitely going to be cancer.
Yeah, you're definitely going to die.
You had a good run, though.
Mm-hmm.
Sleep, Tyler. Go to sleep.
Go on WebMD. Google says, enjoy this podcast because it's your last.
That's a little specific.
Oh, we're going to need to find a new intern.
Yep.
Is Tyler still an intern?
Yeah, of course.
Tyler the
never
intern.
come up. It's never come off his business card.
Yeah. Podcast intern. Tyler Yaremchuk.
Tyler's the kid from Two Hills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
He only celebrates
My
Halloween
mom's from
on
Two
Fridays.
Hills.
Oh, so then she knows about Halloween only being on the Friday, regardless of whether or not it actually falls on a weekend.
It sounds like a theme from like Footloose.
I've said this before, but my aunt taught Chris the intern grade 2.
Weird flex.
Yep. There's a connection there. That's all I'm saying.
Well,
Are you bragging?
Sounds like
Or are
it.
you making your aunt culpable for...
Yeah, there's got to be more stuff to talk about.
Are you getting cheap tires out of this?
Maybe.
What other topics are
I
there?
want to go back to Paul Maurice quitting in Winnipeg. I think it's interesting that a coach where the team's 13-10 that he steps down.
Do you think there's no underlying reasons? Like he didn't give any, but when you look at Maurice, the guy's probably not going to get too deep into it. Things. Do you think there's anything outside of what he said today?
Well,
there has to be.
The fans have been calling for his head for years.
Some of the fans have,
Yeah. I should say yes.
Those fans are they're always doing that though.
Yeah.
Like Paul Maurice that does not bother.
I think there was an appetite for change, but Kevin Cheveldayoff just kind of has too much respect for Maurice and was never going to fire him.
And I also kind of like that.
Yeah, I think that was Cheveldayoff's guy, and Cheveldayoff wasn't going to wane from it. They made the playoffs in the last 4 seasons. Like the results were there to an extent. And I just think this is Maurice kind of recognizing what some people around the team recognized as, you know what, I've been here a long time. And this might be
7 years, right?
8 seasons,
Yeah, wow.
600 regular season games.
But he didn't like put him in a spot where they have his replacement ready to roll. And it's
Dave Lowry's not bad.
but is that your coach going forward?
No, but he's not a bad spot. It's just like,
But if
to
it's
me,
not your
like
coach
play fair,
going
right?
forward, that aren't you like slighting the team a
It
little
would
bit?
be
That's-
interesting to know just like some context in the sense of like, when did he bring this up to Kevin Cheveldayoff? Like, were they talking about it for weeks? Or was it just this morning? He's like, I want to be the long snapper for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And the only way that's going to happen is if I give up my job as the coach.
Back-to-back CFL champs.
He's been coaching in the NHL for like 26 years, and he's only like 51.
Yeah, he's been around forever.
All-time leader in losses by a wide margin.
Really?
Now he wants to be a long snapper.
Search NHL coaching registrar and hockey reference, and then just sort by losses. I don't know if that's a more roundabout way of doing it, but I think Rick might have had the easier way. Just Google losses. He's way up there, like more than anybody by like a lot.
That's a fun record to
So
hold.
he
That
has.
does mean you've been around a long time, though.
This was the plan. He saw the Islanders struggling, and he said, "Okay, I'm at 680 losses. Barry Trotz is at 647. If I get the fuck out of here now, they might lose enough for me to get off this list."
Trotz.
like it.
How long has Trotz been coaching for?
Since the
Since
Preds
Nashville
came
got
into the
here.
league.
Since
He's
Nashville got here.
99, but Maurice is since 96.
Oh, But Maurice didn't coach those terrible Predator teams.
We coached the Leafs.
Dave Tippett, 17th on the list of losses.
Oof. And he's going to be number 1 by the end of this season.
The Oilers are going to lose 2.
Well, I'm going to ask you that.
Games.
lose 200 games in 1 year somehow.
So last night on the B-cast, despite the fact that the Oilers won, there was still a handful of people saying fire Dave Tippett. And we talked about it last week.
I got a beef with this because I saw some of it too. People saw the depth scoring last night and they were like, oh yeah, look at that. Gulleton's already getting more out of Perlini. And that drives me fucking nuts. It's the same systems. It's the same approach.
Tippett's telling them not to shoot though, I'm pretty sure. Don't you think?
Well, like it's just the dumbest shit, right?
Yeah, don't shoot the puck for 7 games.
And my response to that would be, if the Oilers would have lost last night, would you have sat there and been like, boy, you know what? Maybe it wasn't on Tippett because they're 0-2 without him. No, those people wouldn't have fucking said that. So this whole like, oh, look at the bottom 6 producing under Dave Tippett. It's going well. Or without Dave Tippett. Fuck off.
Just for the record, the last 4 games have been bad luck. I know people hate to use this as an excuse. And I'm not trying, but it's part of a reason. They had bad luck.
Sure.
That just like Leon misses the empty net. Nuge gets that rebound that goes off the post, slides along the goal line into Anderson's. They had bad luck. They had injuries, and they had everything happening at once. And everyone wants to sit there and shit on everybody and overreact. It was LA and Seattle are terrible games. Mm-hmm. Minnesota was better. Boston was good. Carolina and the Leafs, we had a chance to win all 3 of those games.
Yep.
And bad luck.
The last time I was on this podcast was 2 weeks ago, and we said on that pod, I asked everybody on the podcast, I said, can you name the game that was their best effort in the 16-5 run? And everybody just kind of sat around and we all said, I don't think there is one. So I think we were also beneficiaries of a lot of luck to start the season, and some of that stuff just goes away.
We were just looking for that overall great game by the team, and they hadn't played one.
Part of the losses too in the 6-game losing streak was, like Rick said, man, they just couldn't get a goal to save their life,
man. And people like losing their mind. It's just ebbs and flows, and everything was going bad at the same time. The streaky scorers were slumping. Our best scorers couldn't buy a goal. It was just weird. It's just the way things go, man.
The one thing from the stretch that I thought was bad was the slow starts. That was the only thing where I thought like, okay, like
they were down by a pair of goals.
This is something you can help. That was really the only thing I thought that it was like, this. But
even like even the Toronto game, I know we didn't score the first goal, but it wasn't the same as getting scored on the first 2 minutes or something like that, right?
No.
And I think Boston.
That one was frustrating because against Toronto, the PK at the end of the first period was atrocious and they gave up that gross goal, which, okay, fine. And then you go into the second period, the Oilers are absolutely dominating, cannot score to save their fucking lives.
Campbell
and then their first shot of the period going the other way, the Leafs end up scoring. And it's just like, oh, it's going to be one of those. And it was.
But that's what I mean. It's not that the team was playing bad or anything like that. It was just one of those damn games. We've gone through it for decades. I want to say years, but unfortunately I have to use decades now. But it was just one of those things. So you weren't really upset because the team played fine and you knew that the bad luck was going to go away eventually. They have to score eventually. And last night they started to go back in again.
So then I'll ask then, what changed last night against Columbus? Obviously they scored. Obviously they scored. The Blue Jackets aren't great. Is that all? Is that it, Cam?
I think honestly, no, it's hard to say. Like they came out, I think a lot of it just had to do with good bounces and good luck. Like the games they were losing, like Rick said, Seattle and LA are pretty bad opponents.
Games,
they played terrible games, whatever it is. They were burnt out. That's life. But they played, really well against Boston. That was a good game. They played pretty good against the Leafs. They played good against Carolina. They're fine against Minnesota. And then they finally they honestly just needed to go up against a shit team. Like the Blue Jackets are not good. They're even worse on the road. They finally just played a bad team. Goalie wasn't good. Now they're feeling confident. I imagine this stretch will be behind them now.
And it wasn't like they had good luck last night. They just did not have bad luck.
Yeah.
We said that on Real Life. Like they needed a slump buster, right?
They just need to play a bad team.
They needed that just shit kick someone. And they're lucky they got those 2 power plays early and they scored on them because I think that allowed them to just roll.
They needed that. They needed a good start and just to feel good. And now I think they can just put it behind them and roll.
What do you always say, Dan? Feel good. Why not?
Feel good. Why not? I just think that part of it is the Oilers made their own luck, though. Like we talked about it, the rebound goals, you don't get those unless you're shooting the puck 7 times if you're Brendan Perlini or 6 times if you're Jesse Puljujarvi.
8.
8. Sorry. I think I think, and Yamo had 0.
Yeah.
Is that true?
It's 7 games in a row.
So
I actually don't think Yamo would have played that badly last night.
No, I don't necessarily disagree. I just think that this team also makes its own luck too, right? And for again,
you got to be good to be lucky.
Exactly. All the old cliches come into it, right? But again, if Skinner lets in one of those first shots, so the first 5 shots from the Blue Jackets, and some of them were really good shots, then we're talking about a different conversation.
Yeah, remember when Tyler said...
And I don't think so. Even if you got scored, I don't think it was going to change your mentality. And they didn't have a lot of good luck last night. They just did not have the bad luck. I think we would have been upset about it, but I think they would have been able to bounce back from 1 goal, no problem.
I think they had some good luck because Jacob Voracek forgot it was a rule that you can't play with your helmet on or without a helmet.
That was a funny one.
That was.
I actually forgot that was a rule too, to be honest. Full.
No, as soon as he started going towards it, I was putting my hand up in the air. I'm in my living room by myself. No one's there to see it, and I'll give it credit. The refs, the fact they called both of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they called the Bush after the Keith pushing from behind.
Yeah.
The fact they called that Bouchard, and it was the far guy too. I have to, for that first period, I give the officials credit there. They did a decent job.
The only thing I don't like about the power play last night was first 2, obviously perfect. But then I think it was 4 or 5 where Columbus got all kinds of chances going the other way. And it's just, I don't know what's going on with the power play right now. It's just not as tight.
Well, other teams are adjusting a bit more too, right? Like they came out guns ablaze and moving around really fast. Another team sees some video and it gives them a chance to defend differently, right?
Do something other than that's the very, very good, strong cross-ice pass.
That's what I complain about too.
Like Connor, I get it. Just start ripping top blocker for a couple of times. I promise you that pass to Leon will open up again.
Yeah, as soon as you adjust and you start doing something different, they're going to be like, "Oh, geez, we gotta adjust ourselves," and then you'll be able to go back to your old way.
Because they tried a different play even on Jesse's second goal, where it went Connor Nuge Jesse in, like bang, bang, bang.
I like the first one when Barry actually shot.
Yep.
Yeah. You're right. I wish they'd shoot the pill more. Like there was times in that game against. I'm forgetting which one it was here. It was against Boston, where Nugent Hopkins had a couple looks where he was just right between the circles. And it's like, all right, man, like what I always text you, Bag Milk, foot up, bottom corner, snap it home and fist bump.
The Mark Messier goal.
And then he tries to fucking force one. And it's like, God, just shoot the damn thing.
The 2-on-1 last night with Connor and Leon again.
Yeah. So I would have loved to see.
Go bar down over the blocker.
Everyone in the rink knows you want to pass, Connor.
Yeah,
too many cooks.
Well, no, you do.
Too many cooks.
Mm-hmm.
Too many cooks.
It's one of those things too that...
That'd be like too many sous chefs.
Too many cooks.
A cook wants to score. A cook, that's too many helpers.
Passes. Too many cooks.
Yeah.
Or like Louis said last night a bunch of times on the broadcast, shooter mentality. We need it. We need it.
Didn't Jack describe their lead as a 4-0 bulge?
4-0 bulge.
They had some beauty quotes last night. I was having a great time. If you were drinking for Schneid last night, if that was your keyword to drink, you are probably dead today. A lot of players got off the Schneid. Shooter mentality. Can opener. All of the above. I also like where you were at the game, Tyler, so you wouldn't have heard it, where Jack was distracted for probably 2 or 3 minutes talking about Hunter walking up and down the railing. I loved it.
That was great.
He's very, very good at it.
Very good.
Does it, I'm fairly certain, every game.
Mm-hmm.
One person I can guarantee you has been to more games than I have, and that's Jack. How has he not seen this?
I know. He's like, Louis, I was trying to get your attention. Louis, did you see him up and down the railing?
Hunter is a great mascot, but you're right, Rick.
Fantastic.
He does that. He does the bit where he steals someone's popcorn and throws it in the air.
Yep.
And then he does the thing where he lifts up his shirt and shows off his abs.
Do you get a new popcorn purchased for you after that happening?
Yes.
I would be so upset.
Everything
if
is
your
wrestling.
$12 popcorn,
it is so overpriced. I do not want to be a part of this gimmick.
Anything you've ever seen,
barely afford this.
Anything you've ever seen on a screen at an NBA game is wrestling. There's a person at the top of the stands that has the bag of popcorn to replace your popcorn coming down to you right now.
I'm with Cam too. Like if they don't replace the popcorn, I would be so livid.
I would get
just
up and
sat down, paid $25 for this tub of popcorn, and the fucking mascot threw it all over the row in front of me.
I'd be livid. I would take them to small claims court.
I'd be like, Hunter, please. This Bobby Nix cost me my rent.
Hunter, this is my 13th reason.
What would be worse, Coom? Is it getting your popcorn stolen at an Oilers game or getting pied in the face by Gritty?
I would take getting pied in the face for sure.
Yeah.
I would way rather lose popcorn.
Yeah, dude, you're wearing that cake for the rest of the day.
I would
I'd
not
get along with it. I would not be very happy. I'd be okay with it, but
I wouldn't kill him at that moment. But
someone's bringing me popcorn. No one coming down with a nice washcloth,
a nice warm towelette. Like you're showing me on the big screen getting caked in the face by Gritty. You are seeing a person that is probably one of the most pissed off human beings on earth. That bit won't be as funny. Well, it might be. Thankfully.
So you go spear him.
We're going to get back to some pizza talk. Now that we know Frank Saravalli, mostly fresh, sometimes frozen.
Yeah, I texted him the explanation and he just didn't respond. I was like, oh, your take about Canada pizza.
Exactly what we expected.
Ask Saravalli if he's ever been to Tony's Pizza Palace here. Because if he thinks Canadian pizza's bad and he's had Tony's Pizza Palace and he thinks that's bad, then the guy he doesn't know pizza.
More specifically, Buster's Pizza, the sponsor of this podcast.
Okay, fair enough.
With the location near you around the city, Buster's Pizza's got something for you. And that's going to kick off Ask the Idiots. So I've got a bunch of questions today. The boys have not seen these, Tyler. You'll be happy. They're all hockey questions.
Thank God.
We have an extra idiot.
We've got an extra idiot. So we got plenty to get to. We've got we got 6 questions. So we're going to keep these real tight. We're going to keep going. I have not shown anybody these beforehand. I've barely even read them. So if I Ron Burgundy a little bit of the question, that's just how she goes. Right? BustersPizza.ca. Check out a location near you. Order yourself a pizza. Maybe a donair. Celebratory donair would be excellent on a Friday. Promise. All right. First question. I'm going to start with Tyler because he's typing something. What are you working on over there?
Just working on some promo for the show. Stop that. Damn it.
I was going to do it already. Not sure how to submit an Ask the Idiots question. All right. Hang on. How do the Oilers salvage what they can from Zach Kassian from an asset perspective? I think all the trade value he had at one point is probably gone, especially with his cap hit. It's been a while since I have been this frustrated with an Oiler, as I'm normally pretty positive, but Cass just doesn't look like he has the motivation to be here anymore. Tyler, how do you recoup some assets?
I mean, that's kind of the issue here when you have a player with a contract that's larger than what he deserves and he's not playing well, right? Is if Kassian starts playing well, people are going to sit there and go, this is the Kassian we need. Like, this is what's worth the money. And then when he plays bad, well, you can't just trade him because he's playing bad and he's overpaid. So I honestly think they're stuck with him. Like, I'm not even sure if you can work that guy into a deal. I think
you're going to have to retain.
Yeah, I think that contract just makes him a negative asset. And at this point, just keep him and hope he eventually finds that Kassian groove. He's been wildly inconsistent as an Oiler, but hey, if he goes through one of those high peaks that he has in the playoffs, then I'm sure they'll be happy with him.
Rick?
If you can't trade him, you play him with Derek Ryan. So Wood Guy today posted some stats, and those guys playing together, they're actually 6 goals for and only 7 against. I get it. Dude, like all you're trying to do right now is limit the bleeding, right?
You're polishing that turd.
I thought you were going to say they were like 6-1.
Yeah, me too.
That's where I thought it was going to.
Don't expect this to, it's not going to be something really, really good, but it's something that's almost 500, almost even. You kind of, if those two guys can, for whatever reason, play almost even hockey together, you put those guys together and I'd hope for the best.
Dan?
Well, I mean, yeah, you guys already hit it on the head. I was just going to add to Tyler's point saying that, like, it's not even like we're talking about a guy in Zach Kassian that was like a top end draft pick that we have, groomed this whole time and he's been great. And we maybe missed his window. This is a guy that we used as a reclamation project for Ben Scrivens. And we've gotten quite a bit of value out of him, I would argue. Yep. So yes, maybe we missed the window to trade him for any kind of an asset and not having to send an asset the other way. But I would say that, you got what you wanted out of a reclamation project in Kassian. It's just that we signed him too long.
Looking at puckpedia.com, he's still got a couple of years left after this one at 3.2. Coombsy, what's the answer here?
Honestly, if he continues to play terribly, you have the option of just throwing him on waivers. I mean, they threw James Neal on waivers last year. Kyle Turris went on waivers last year.
Do you think anyone picks him up though?
No one's going to pick him up. But the thing is it lights a fire under his ass, right? Because you
show to him that no one wants you.
Yeah, it's like you're literally like
it's like a good parent.
You're being told like, okay, like this is where you're at around the league, man. Like maybe we're going to send you down to Baco to ride the bus for a few weeks. That sucks.
Yep.
Then come up and fucking try hard. Like you have the ability to do it. You're in good shape. You can go crash and bang. That's what you're paid to do, and do it.
Works for Perlini.
I think that I don't ever expect Cass to score, but I do expect him to hit and instigate and be annoying. And I haven't seen Crazy Eyes in a long time.
No, it was kissy face this year, but after that Calgary game, it went away pretty quick.
So how do you get the value out of him? I don't know.
Light a fire under his ass.
Maybe you have to light that fire. Question number 2. Coombsy, I'm starting with you. What is your go-to arena food or snack minus the beers? And Yaremchuk can't say press box popcorn. Go-to arena snack. Coombsy.
That's a good question, actually, because I often avoid buying food at games. I like to spend my money on the drinks. That's just, I'd rather go out and grab like a donair, grab a bite after. But the one thing I usually find myself craving at a game is popcorn. So that's why I got extremely emotional when you said, if Hunter came and dumped my popcorn on the ground, that would be it for me. Like it's the one thing I crave when I'm out at a thing like that. Same thing when this is the only reason I ever want to go to a movie is to drink a pop or like get a popcorn and drink like a nice big pop with it.
I'm with you.
That's A1.
Dan,
what kind of pop?
Huh?
What kind of pop?
This is really weird, but if it's the one you can fill up yourself, what I do is 2/3 root beer, 1/3 orange pop.
What the fuck?
It's a little swamp water almost.
It's really good.
That's a specific blend.
I've been doing this for years.
1/3.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've been doing this for years, and it's real good.
And it works with all root beers?
Yeah, it has to be Barks root beer. Barks root beer, and ideally the orange pop is orange Fanta.
Okay.
Oh.
If you have a specific drink order like Coombs just has, I want to hear it. I like
going when I go to McDonald's, I go 2/3 Fruitopia, 1/3 Sprite.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
That's an elite combo.
That's what I do with a Slurpee. I do something like that with a Slurpee. I'll do like a half Sprite, half lime or something.
Yeah.
Delightful.
I'll do a Slurpee. If I do a Slurpee, I pour 2/3 Slurpee, and then I put the rest of the pop flavor.
That's a good idea. Melt it a little bit
of carbonation
That's
and melted.
Good.
And
nice.
Dan, your go-to arena snack.
I was just going to say, I don't eat food at arenas because I am cheap as hell. And so
I respect that.
For me, I've had the popcorn, I've had a piece of pizza, and I've had a hot
Let's say
dog
I'm
at
buying
Rogers.
though. What do you get?
If you're buying, I'm buying. I think I have to try the Bobby Nix burger just to.
Whoa, how much money do you think I make, man?
You offered.
Good Lord.
I think I tried the pierogies once at Rogers. Those
The pierogies are really good. That's my answer. Pierogies.
Those are
Okay,
good.
there's Tyler's. Rick, what are you getting?
Hockey game,
Yep.
pizza, Elks game, hot dog.
Nice.
They have pulled pork nachos at Rogers. Those are pretty good too.
That's only on like the upper level. Though.
Are you allowed to bring food in from outside at the Oilers game? Because you can at Blue Jays games. You can bring any food you want.
You're not allowed to.
At Jays games, you can bring in any food, just not drinks.
Come on, you can bring in.
Yeah,
like,
you can bring in a full pizza. I've seen
Can you
people
really?
do it. Yeah, I saw somebody bring in like a charcuterie board spread.
You got like a nice casserole up in your Tupperware dish. You're bringing that thing in.
Oh, that'd be really nice.
Bringing in a lasagna and like slicing it up for everybody in your row.
The Blue Jays just need a potluck section where everybody just shares their food.
Carrying like a cooked mac and cheese, but it's hot, so you're like running through the car.
Kevin with the
from
chili.
The Office.
Kevin with the chili.
Yeah, a big pot of chili, and everybody gets one handful.
You're
in
walking
your row.
down like in the 500s, and you fall down the stairs with a big chili.
My answer for this one is I know it's a little bit silly, but when I'm at a game, I love nothing more than a soft pretzel and a beer.
It has to be something that's relatively easy to eat.
Yeah, soft pretzel.
All right.
Love the big salt chunks on it. I'm all for it. Question number 3, Tyler, you're up first. Buster's Pizza. We're working through Ask the Idiots. Do you think Ken Holland makes a play for Jacob Chychrun? How do you say that name?
Chychrun.
If so, what are you giving up?
Weekly mention of my trip to Chicago. I ran into him in the lobby when I was in Chicago, and he is built like a fucking tight end. This dude is huge.
How is the tight end?
He's a big boy.
Nice.
See the big man?
Yes, he would. God, he would be the big man. I think they should go hard after this guy. He's a left-handed defenseman. He's good at moving the puck. He doesn't make a ton of money. He's signed for the next few years. He's only 23 years old. His best years are ahead of him. Don't look at the plus minus. It's irrelevant because Arizona's a shit show. I would give up. I think Holland should make a push, and I would give up 2 first-round picks, Kyler Yamamoto and Dmitry Samarikov for Chychrun and Lawson Krause. Bang.
Rick, are you chasing Chychrun? And if so, what are you giving up?
I don't think so because I only think that we have the assets to make one trade this year, one monumental trade this year, and I'm looking at a forward.
Get Lawson Krause in the deal.
But he's going to be like a bottom 6 guy, right? I'm looking at a top 6 forward. Someone to kind of take Yam's spot in that top 6.
I think Krause could do it.
No.
Okay.
Dan?
I would do it, but I think the question asked, will Ken Holland do it? And the answer is no. It's not a slight against Ken Holland. It's just when I want something, Ken Holland doesn't want that. So That's kind of where my mentality is.
Kunze?
Well, the Coyotes did draft Jacob Chychrun with a pick traded to them from the Detroit Red Wings. So Jacob Chychrun is, by osmosis, sort of a former Red Wing. So Ken Holland might trade for him. But that being said, I would rather, if they're going to pull the trigger on a big trade and use first round draft picks, I'd rather it be for a center because I think that's what they need.
Do you remember what went back the other way in that deal?
It was Pavel Datsyuk's contract. Yeah. I used to run a salary cap resource, so I know these things.
I would make a play for Chychrun because I think you can never have enough skilled defensive depth. As for whether I think Ken Holland will do it, I do not. Dan, you're up first on the next one. You can have either A, fully healed and peak performing Oscar Klefbom, or B, peak performance Adam Larson.
Right now? I think I have to go with Adam Larson because to me, he's been what's been missing on this lineup, especially if you factor in that Evan Bouchard's just been everything that we wanted him to be and more. So I think that him and Bouchard on the right side would be great.
Rick?
I'm going with Adam Larson right now. I think that really solidifies your right side. I think your left side, as much as people don't like Keith, I still like what he does out there. I think Nurse is good, and I still believe in Broberg and Samorukov and Niemelainen come behind. So I think your left side's pretty much taken care of. If you could do something about the right side, I think that'd be a bigger asset for you.
You guys are absolutely insane. The answer is Oscar Klefbom. He was their best defenseman in 2017. That wouldn't just go away. Their right side with Bouchard, Ceci, and Russell is fine. Barry is fine. That left side, you desperately need something there. And Klefbom, he's like a top pairing guy, man. I love Klefbom. He's a top 4 guy.
Yep.
Cam?
Yeah, I'm going with Klefbom as well. It's not an easy decision because, they do miss Larson, but Klefbom, when he was at his best, and it wasn't a very long peak, but he was so good. Like one of the best Oilers defensemen of this era. We're talking like Lubomir Visnovsky, Sheldon Surrey level good, like that kind of thing. So I would take that, and that would bump Keith down to third pair. That'd be perfect.
Yeah, me too. I'm with Oscar Klefbom. I think if you have Daryl and Oscar as your first two left-handed D, you're in a real good spot. Next up, Ask the Idiots. We're working through it for busterspizza.ca. Tyler, you're up first. Do we play better for Skinner? Looked good last night. Looked complete.
I don't think the team changes up their effort based on who's in net.
Rick?
I agree with Tyler.
Dan?
Yeah, I think we did. I think that I've been saying it a few times that Skinner bailed us out early and the team then responded afterwards.
Mikko's
the team could have
a bunch of times this year.
But Mikko's also let in those early goals, and then the team has stopped fighting for him.
Cam?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think that it seems to me, I thought there was a pretty clear divide last year with how they played with Mike Smith versus Koskinen. I think there was certain things that Smith does, like the fact he's basically an extra D-man on the ice with first passes is actually kind of a game changer. I think they were a bit more confident in Smith, or they seem to be less anxious. I think with Koskinen and net, like he has his great games, right? But then he has his terrible games, and they seem to grip the stick a little tighter when Koskinen's in net. I don't know if it's a confidence thing with Skinner, but I think that most of the guys on this team have been through so many bad Mikko Koskinen starts that they're a little bit more anxious when he's playing in net.
I think that Stuart Skinner has played very, very well this year, and the team has confidence in him, so it allows them to play a little bit loose. Last night, he made some big saves early on. I'm not saying Mikko hasn't done that, but I just think they look looser in front of Skinner. That could just be me making things up as I'm answering this question on the fly, but that's what I'm saying. So
when Smith comes back, do you roll 3 goalies, or do you send
only if Mike Morrison's one of the third ones?
Stu back down.
You need a shootout specialist goalie.
Yeah, so we need the shootout specialist. That's a really good question. I mean, ideally, I think what's going to happen is they'll send Stuart Skinner down so he plays a lot. I think.
But do you think that his career right now is best suited that getting more AHL games or backup number of NHL games?
I think getting reps in for young guys is
he's still a young guy, so I think maybe getting reps in. But
he's like 23, isn't he?
Yeah,
but I think that I would rather have Mikko Koskinen as my backup and have a guy that.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about rolling one. I'm talking about rolling 3 guys.
I don't think 3 is a good idea. Just because then he's just not going to play.
Well, no, because you'll still be looking at a guy like Mike Smith, who everyone keeps bringing up his age. Now all of a sudden you can play him a little more sporadically, have him ready for the playoffs, and then you're still spelling out Mikko, and you kind of got. I know it's not done very often, but a bit of a three-way tandem.
If they believe in Skinner that much and Smith's coming back, then why don't you just put Koskinen through waivers? No one's claiming him.
That's what I would do. That's what I would do too.
What do you do with Koskinen then when he clears waivers?
Let him back up Konovalov.
Oh, so you do put him in Baker?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
I was just curious.
If they really believe in Skinner that much.
Yep.
I think that we're probably going to start seeing some COVID things come through though, and we're probably going to have a taxi squad.
I wouldn't be surprised if we have a taxi squad too.
I wouldn't be surprised if Mikko's their taxi squad goalie. That's a good point.
Next up, Ask the Idiots for Buster's Pizza. We got 2 more. Tyler, you're up first. Do you boys think McDavid needs to shoot the puck more? In the game against Columbus, you're on a 6-game skid, and it looked like he was trying to help out his teammate with a hat trick more so than burying it.
Well, I don't have a problem with that specifically. They're up by a few. Puljujarvi's going for the Hattie. That's fine by me. But in tight games, yes, he's absolutely got to start shooting the puck more. He did rack up 5 shots on goal against Columbus, but that was his first 5-shot game in a while, since November 24th. So I do think he needs to shoot the puck more. For a guy who has the puck on his stick as much as McDavid does, he should be having 5 shots a game more routinely.
I'm going to jump in next. I just love Connor's shot. I think I always want him to shoot more. I get that he's a pass first guy, but man, he's a lethal shooter as well. I'd love to see him shoot more. Like Rick brought up the 2-on-1 with Leon a little bit earlier.
That was 3-0 at that point, so I think that was a little bit different.
I get it, but rip it.
Let it rip.
But you saw what happened when it was 0-0 still, and he took the puck right off the face-off, and he went and hit the bar again.
Mm-hmm.
That right away, I was like, this 4-game slump isn't over yet.
That's what I mean. Connor's got a hell of a shot, so I just love to see him shoot more. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, as much as I don't want to tell the best player in the world how to play the game, I think shooting the puck a little bit more in the right situations would be helpful for him and the whole team.
I just think he's so good that because he's that good, just shoot it.
And I
believe in you.
And even if he missed the net every time, or the goalie made a save every time,
then it's
still going to open up the pass.
Yeah. Dan, what do you think?
Yeah, like Rick said, far be it for me to tell a guy that has, 40 more points in the NHL this year than I do to shoot more, but
you can close that gap.
There's time.
Still time. Do it. I still have to learn to skate, but we'll get there. But yeah, I do want to agree with one point of that comment though, in saying that I feel like they were forcing that hat trick goal early in the game, earlier than I would have liked them to have done, especially being on a 6-game losing streak.
I just think you find the guy. I don't think he ever forced anything to him.
I think they did. There was one power play where they got like 3 shots or 3 good passes to Jesse, and he just wasn't able to handle them. I just think, to me, this team just needs to stomp on some necks right now, and they didn't with the Columbus Blue Jackets. I feel like the fact that the Blue Jackets were able to come back, even to give him a sniff of a hope, I don't like that. I want this team to just murder some of these.
But they're an expansion team.
Yeah,
be reasonable.
Be nice to them.
Cam, does Connor shoot enough?
I think I'm going to take the approach that John Tortorella did and say that he needs to play a better 2-way game because he's not that good right now. No,
he needs to shut up.
I don't know. Sure, why not? He knows what he's doing. I don't. There's a reason he's good and I'm bad.
Of course, he knows what he's doing.
Hey, you were out here saying how good of a defenseman you were to Tyler earlier.
You're begging me to come play beer league.
No, you were asking me to come play on your team.
Okay.
That's what happened. Tyler's like, wow, I only have 4 friends and no one comes out to my hockey games because no one likes me.
Yeah, Tyler asked me to play for his team too.
And your response was, I'm drunk. And I said, bag milk, it's 2:00 on a Sunday.
Yeah. Sunday fun day, baby.
Exactly.
What are we talking about? Last question. Ask the Idiots or busterspizza.ca. Rick, I'm starting with you. Is there a possibility that Ovi gets his number retired by the NHL league-wide if he breaks Gretzky's goal record?
No.
No.
Rick, you're up first. Everybody's just like,
I'll just get it out of the way. Yeah, no.
No, the Gretzky got it for so much more than just goals. So no.
Cam, you've written about this.
What? Ovechkin getting his number retired?
No, just breaking Gretzky's goal record.
He's going to obviously break the record, but it's also
God, I hope not.
He wears number 8. It's a common number. The thing with Gretzky that made it easy is it's
that's true. I didn't think of that.
It's an iconic number. It's nobody was even wearing that anyway. So
no one can wear 8 anymore.
Nobody can wear 8 anymore.
Every team has a guy wearing number 8. What are you going to randomly tell Kyle Turris? Is Kyle Turris 8?
Yeah.
He's 8, right? Yeah. What are you going to do? Kyle Turris, hey man, you can't wear this common.
Sorry, Cale Makar, get fucked, big guy.
Yeah, it's not, every single guy in the league, every single team in the league has an 8. It's not happening.
I agree. Not going to happen. Okay. Tyler, get your buttons ready. It is time for the Deuce Vodka Hot and Cold Performers. Let's wrap up this podcast. Oh, Dan's pointing at the hat. He's smarter than me. So we got to pick our winner of the Buster's Pizza GC. So Dan's not sitting beside me today. So Cam is. So he's going to reach into this little hat here.
I got to get the Instagram up.
All right. So Tyler's, again, we're delayed. This is going to be your preemptive warning to get your phone connected to the Roadcaster as well.
Oh, it's way more fun to watch him scramble.
The winner is Tyler Yaremchuk. No, I'm just kidding. The winner is Greg.
Greg, he asked the question if Ken Holland should make a play for Chicken.
Chicken.
Good job, Greg.
I like chicken.
Shout out to Greg. You picked up a GC from Buster's Pizza. I will reach out to you post-podcast and let you know. Let's collect some details. Congratulations. Enjoy some free pizza.
Canada's best pizza, according to Frank Saravalli.
Saravalli approved pizza. Buster'sPizza.ca.
Frank's Red Hot Pizza.
Frank's Red Hot Pizza. I wonder if he does dip his pizza in hot sauce.
Do Italians do that?
Only the crust.
I'm not texting him anymore because I think he's mad.
Hey,
You can't get mad over a couple of pizza
should ask him
questions.
if he
Everyone loves
dips
pizza.
Frank, I know you're spending time with your family,
The green screen
but
almost
please let us know if you're dipping crust in hot sauce.
Yeah, can you ask him?
I don't like dipping my pizza in ranch, but I do go crust in ranch.
Are you
came
serious?
down. If your pizza needs a sauce to be dipped in, it's not a good pizza.
The crust is fine.
It
Or
doesn't-
a little
doesn't-
marinara.
It doesn't need, but it enhances.
I think ranch.
But your crust has to go in everything. And there's Domino's has that nice, or no, Papa John's has that garlic dip. That's the best.
Pizza 73.
Buster's Pizza also has delicious sauces.
We're talking about all their competitors. We're just like, get pizza literally anywhere other than the place that pays us to talk about them.
Buster'sPizza.ca is delicious.
That free
It's
pizza
so
they gave
good.
us is fantastic. Though.
It is so good. It does not need a sauce, as Dan's point is.
There you go.
But if you wanna-
I'll probably go get a Buster's pizza or something today because I have talked about every other pizza place on this podcast.
See, that's what we're doing is we're telling people to try all these other terrible Canadian pizzas so they can have the best Canadian pizza at Buster's Pizza.
Don't say that about Tony's Pizza Palace.
or even a donair.
grow up.
Those matzo sticks.
Yeah.
I love fucking matzo sticks, man.
Pardon?
At Buster's Pizza.
What was that? Can you bleep that out? That was so weird.
No, I want you to save that.
That was
I think
the
we
most-
can use that later.
That's a button, though, for sure.
That was the most jarring part of this podcast.
You should have seen the look on his face when he said
That came from a dark place in your heart.
I saw his pants rippling a little bit.
If he thought about matzo sticks anymore, he'd rip a hole clean through his trousers. Oh my. All right. Tyler's hot performer of the week, matzo sticks.
Tyler's in tears.
DeuceVodka.com. First thing you see, as always, Brett Kissel's handsome face. Store locator right beside it. Find out where to buy a bottle this weekend. Have yourself a little sundae, maybe. Caesar Sunday. It's delicious. Drink responsibly, provided that you are of legal drinking age. DeuceVodka.com. All the details you need. As we do every week, we start with our veggies, which you can also dip in ranch.
What is happening? I'm upset. What is happening?
Tyler's just got random sounds coming out of him now.
Are you okay?
Oh, fuck. Okay, let's go.
Okay, then you're up first. Tyler, you're cold performer of the week for Deuce Vodka.
The hot goalies we were running into.
I'm upset.
There's a lack of matzo sticks. Rick, next up, your Deuce Vodka cold performer of the week.
We're going back to last Sunday morning, and I was not a big fan of the way F1 kind of swapped their rules and changed their rules the day of. So we're going to give it to F1 and their rule swapping.
What the hell is going on?
Good.
Dan, next
you.
up, Deuce Vodka cold performer of the week.
Well, Rick's got me rattled now. I can't believe you're a Mercedes guy.
No, I just want the rules called the way they are.
Their rules are so made up as we go.
I don't even know what's going on.
All
here.
rules are made up.
But they're at least
There's a lot
like,
of F1 fans listening.
You can't not make up a rule. It's not just there.
True.
I'm happy to see everyone get behind F1 now. I've been watching for a long time, so
I was cheering F1 back in 1997.
I was actually glad
But I
the
loved seeing
race
that race.
ended the way it did because my favorite driver, Michael
Sergio.
Schumacher, he would have lost his spot as number one. You know,
That's fair. My hot performer of the week, cold performer of the week, is going to go to all the people that made fun of Connor McDavid's comments about his heated driveway. I get it. I understand that it's an easy joke to make, but
they're just jealous. They don't have a heated driveway.
But
who's making fun of it?
We get a little bit of personality from a player, and then all we do for the next 4 days.
That's not personality. That's just him saying he has a heated driveway.
We got personality when they were that one dude was like yelling at him through the glass, and you could see him like it actually got to him. I was like, that's
like that guy rattled me.
That's Connor right there. You can see him.
So my cold performer, I guess, is going to go to the heated driveway jokes.
That's a joke. That's an absolute joke is what it is.
You should have waited and made the heated driveway your hot performer because it's hot. And it melted the snow.
There's another chance.
Dan.
Coombsy, you're next up. Deuce Vodka, cold performer of the week.
Now you don't have one yourself.
Now I'm having a hard time coming up with something. What was bad that happened? Oh, sure. We'll do a nice and easy one. Major League Baseball for not having a collective bargaining agreement figured out yet. They're not even negotiating economics at this point.
Oh, that's cold.
They won't until like the last 11th hour because nobody ever does. For
this is gonna lag.
Do you think they're gonna miss time?
Oh yeah,
right into March. It'll go right into March.
They're not gonna have a deal until March. Then they're gonna have guys doing their own spring training, and then pitchers are gonna come back and be getting injured like fucking crazy, and it's gonna be chaos for a long time.
You'll get the pitchers back at the right time, at the normal time. Baseball went through this not long ago, and they understand what kind of financial issues are if you start losing time. They just won't do anything till the last second, just like every sport out there.
Is it different this time around, or is it the same bullshit?
The players are more, I think there's more player solidarity than we've seen in quite some time. The issues are pretty extreme and it affects everyone rather than just like what you'll see a lot of times in lockouts and labor negotiations is it's something that only affects
the high end
guys. This affects everyone because what the discussion is largely now is about when players get to become free agents, and they all want to become free agents earlier because nobody wants to play for the Baltimore Orioles or the Pittsburgh Pirates. Those teams shouldn't exist.
And that'll be a wrap on episode 61 of Blue Jays Nation Radio. Thanks for tuning in.
My Deuce Vodka cold performer of the week is Rona. Has been for the last 2 years. We are now canceling games. We're postponing games. My boy Nugent Hopkins on the COVID protocol list this morning.
I thought they meant the store. I was like, what they do to you?
For 2 years running, I've been trying to get the same drywall from Rona. They don't carry it. They say they're going to get it in every second week, and then they don't.
I think they took away the free popcorn, to be honest.
You were trying to get a heated driveway installed, and they said, no, you peasant.
Yeah, they're like, you live in a townhouse, you fucking idiot. You don't even have a driveway. So my lack of driveway is a cold performer of the week.
You're as cold as ice.
You have to cut it there or else we'll get in trouble.
Sued, yeah.
Tyler, you're first up. Deuce Vodka hot performer of the week.
My hot performer of the week is going to be Stuart Skinner for how great he played last night.
Called peer pressure.
Yep. Rick, you're next up. Deuce Vodka hot performer of the week.
Number 13, Jesse Puljujärvi.
Big man.
Let's go.
That's it.
That's it.
He's a hot guy.
Dan and I were actually talking about before we started recording, we should probably have some kind of ON Radio Google sheet or something. Because I feel like I had one of my hot takes before the season started with that he was going to outscore Patrick Laine this year. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Dan, you're next up. Deuce Vodka hot performer of the week.
Well, it's been a few years since we've seen it. It's finally back. The Edmonton Oilers have a calendar. And this time it includes their dogs.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it to the Edmonton Oilers for creating the 2022 Edmonton Oilers dog calendar, which you can pick up at Booster Juice locations around the city for $20. And the proceeds go to Zoe's Animal Rescue. And so Edmonton Oilers for creating a dog calendar. You're my hot performer of the week.
Pour it on.
Thanks for attending my hot
Pour it on.
Down the stretch.
Cam, your Deuce Vodka hot performer of the week.
Mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella sticks.
Tyler eating a bucket. My hot performer of the week is how hot it would be to watch Tyler in his bed naked eating a bucket full of mozzarella sticks slowly and sensually.
Are you thrilled? I'm not.
That was an appropriate button too.
Bag Milk is 3 for 3 on hitting random buttons.
I'm feeling really good about being this close to the Roadcaster today. My Deuce Vodka hot performer of the week is Tyler. Just because I like the sounds you're making today. Makes me happy. These involuntary noises coming out of you. And
you're like a balloon.
It's just...
Surveyor Brett's going to have a time with this episode.
It's fucking Cam. Cam just gets me wired.
I like it. So keep making random noises. And Surveyor Brett, please send me all of those because my podcast is going to be launching right away and I'm going to use them all. Thank you. I want a better button than that. It's not spooky season. Tyler's.
The big guy is smoking hot.
You are smoking hot, buddy. I like your hoodie today too.
It's burnt orange.
Now we are going to vamp. We're going to kill a little bit of time here because I see Tyler is connecting his phone to the Roadcaster.
Is it gonna work?
It is connecting. He's looking. He's turned up the volume.
He's playing Saturday.
it's
there
working.
we go. It worked. I thought it was Sandstorm.
There we go. Oilers Nation Radio episode 171. We're wrapping up, but first I got to say thank you to DoorDash, Oodle Noodle, Cornerstone Insurance, Deuce Fog, and Buster's Pizza, and more importantly, all of you for being here and listening to the show. Tell your friends, your family, your cousins.
Are we on next week?
Probably.
What's the actual date?
It's Christmas
24?
Eve.
Turn down the music for a second, Tyler. Super serious.
We
time.
can do one on. Why don't we do one when we have the party on the 22nd?
I would do it next week.
We can do it. And I'm here.
Bring all the sound equipment to the bar, please, Tyler.
I won't do it on the 24th, but we could squeeze one.
Why don't we
on a different day? Like
Why don't we do the
23rd?
22nd then?
Yeah, we can.
Actually, let's do the 23rd. Then we can recap the party. That'll be funny.
The 23rd is a game day, so yeah, we can just let's just do
Crush
that.
it up.
See you guys
23rd.
Thursday.
There we go. Podcast coming next week. Thank you guys all for listening. Tell a friend. Leave us a review. I haven't read some in a while, so I'm sure I got plenty. That's
Please
it.
review this episode.
Yeah, please review this specific episode. Arguably one of the best we've ever had.
Best wishes.
Oilers Nation Radio episode 171. That's a wrap.
Shout out Quads.
Thanks for listening to Oilers Nation Radio, delivered by DoorDash. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram.